Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your love reading for June 2018. This is Elizabeth from channelguidance.com. Okay, so I've already shuffled the deck. Let's go ahead and begin the reading. You did have more than 30,000 views for May, so I am going to be doing this spread and then a partner spread. But first, let's get 9 cards for you. This is a love reading for the sign of Sagittarius for June 2018. The first card is the Star. Love reading for the sign of Sagittarius for June. 10 of Cups, love reading, 3 of Cups, love reading for the sign of Sagittarius for June. 5 of Swords, love reading for the sign of Sagittarius. 9 of Coins, 7 of Wands, love reading for the sign of Sagittarius for June. 3 of Wands, love reading for the sign of Sagittarius. Knight of Wands, love reading for Sagittarius. 5 of Coins. Okay, what's the most important message that Sagittarius needs to hear for June 2018? And you have the 7 of Swords. So there's a lot of, we're going to get into it, but just pulling the cards here, I see that you have a lot going on. And the 7 of Swords, this can be telling you to be very cautious, around maybe something you don't want to see. This can be self-deceit. This can be somebody lying to you. We'll come back to this energy to see how it ties in with the rest of the reading. But first, let's look at the first 3 cards. So you have the Star, the 10 of Cups, and the 3 of Cups. So the Star, this is a major arcana that does represent you getting what you want. This is a card of hopes and wishes. You're getting the outcome that you want. And it's pretty crystal clear here that what you want is a 10 of Cups. You want a happily ever after, whether it's meeting somebody new or maybe you have someone specific in mind. There is a happily ever after there, kind of front and center for you, even though you do have some challenging cards at the bottom. I feel like this is telling you that what you want is within your grasp. You can have that happy ending that you want with that person. You also have the 3 of Cups, which represents a marriage. So I feel like this is speaking to those where maybe you feel like your marriage is on the rocks or you feel like you can't survive something that's happened recently. The 3 of Cups does represent a happy marriage, but it also represents that you're celebrating something really positive that's happened. So I feel like what you're celebrating is that you've just gotten what you want, whether it's meeting somebody new, getting somebody back, or that you're able to fix an existing relationship or marriage. Now, in the second row here, you've got a little bit more going on. You've got the 5 of Swords, the 9 of Coins, and the 7 of Wands. So these 2 cards right here tell me that, all is not well when it comes to your love life. I do see that, a happy ending there with the 10 of Cups right away, and you're being told with the Star, you will get, the outcome that you want, but I feel like you're struggling with something with the 5 of Swords. The 5 of Swords is one of the trickiest cards in the deck, and sometimes it can literally mean that you're being tricked, especially with this card in the same reading, the 7 of Swords. This can represent, I feel like there's something going on with Sagittarius where either like you feel somebody's lying to you, and it doesn't have to be that somebody's cheating on you. People can lie in other ways, like they can, lead you on and tell you they're interested, but then they take other actions, that kind of energy. I don't feel like everyone's being lied to as in being cheated on, but usually with this energy, somebody is being two-faced. They're not who they seem. And with the 5 of Swords, it's that same similar energy as like deceit, but it can also be that, somebody is sabotaging your love life. It can be an outside party if there is a third party, but it can even be your partner. It can even be you if you feel like you're doing that. There's a need to stand up to that. You have the 7 of Wands. So I feel like there's a need to stand up to whatever it is that's messing with your relationship or your marriage, whether it's your partner making all the wrong decisions, because with the 5 of Swords, you usually make all the wrong decisions. This is a card of unwise choices that will come back to haunt you. There's a need to stand up to someone with the 7 of Wands. This is confrontational energy, standing up to the harsh energy from the 5 of Swords, because the 5 of Swords, there's no way to sugarcoat it. This does represent negative energy in some way, whether it means that you're pursuing something that maybe you shouldn't be pursuing because it's not going to bring you any happiness. This is a card of kind of an empty victory, or it can be just someone sabotaging a relationship, which, you know, I get the feeling that's what you have going on with the Seven of Wands. There's a need to confront that. But again, it could even be you. It can even be you, especially if you're fearing commitment and you don't, maybe you found the perfect person, but you keep going back and forth. Maybe there's someone else in the picture. Or maybe you don't really feel like you can commit to someone, because you do have a really independent energy in the middle, the Nine of Coins. This is the energy of a strong woman, but it can also be a strong man. This is someone that's really self-reliant. And I feel like for the majority of you, this is saying, like, hold on to your power. Hold on to your personal power. You may have given someone way too much power over you, because maybe you're trying to make them happy, or maybe you just don't want them to leave. And there's a need for you to speak up for yourself, to draw the line somewhere, especially if someone is treating you unfairly. I'm surprised you don't have the Justice card here yet. With the Nine of Coins, this is the energy of a strong person that knows what they want, that they feel successful. But I feel like there's something going on around you as far as your love life that is kind of threatening that. And this could be something like, you know, an unhealthy relationship where you really have to speak up for yourself. Down here, the Three of Wands, the Knight of Wands, and the Five of Coins. So, I mean, the Five of Coins, this usually means that you are, let me just pick it up for you, that you are suffering in some way. This is a card of emotional poverty. And usually with this card, you're hurting, but you're hurting because somebody's keeping you in the dark. Somebody is not really sharing everything with you. You feel completely left out emotionally. There's a need to, again, this energy for the Knight of Wands ties in with the Seven of Wands. There's a need for you to be more assertive. The Knight of Wands is a really fiery energy of being really self-confident and getting the outcome that you want. Because I do see you getting what you want up there with the Star. You can have the outcome that you want. I just feel like there's something, I get the feeling there's something going on in your relationship where, I don't know, I feel like you're being taken advantage of in some way. Like you're trying really hard to make things work, but I feel like your partner might be in an entirely different place. We'll see what happens when I do the partner spread. You're being told that the best is yet to come with the Three of Wands. This is a message. This is a kind of a future energy. You know, if you wait, if you just hang on, your time for happiness will come. You know, and you saw it right away in the first three cards. The Star, the Ten of Cups, the Three of Cups. You're celebrating a happy ending and you're getting what you want. I just feel like right now you could be struggling with either a partner that is doing something to sabotage the relationship or the marriage, and you're feeling really kind of hurt and left out. This could even be somebody that walked out on you and you're completely in the dark and maybe you don't know why. There's a need for you to really, you know, speak up about this. Seven of Wands and Knight of Wands. Usually with the Seven of Wands, you're afraid. You're afraid of saying anything. You're afraid of someone. This is, you know, the energy of being really self-confident and finally speaking up about whatever it is that's bothering you. Let's get a few more cards for you. What other messages are there for Sagittarius for June 2018? Three of Swords. What other messages are there for Sagittarius for June? Seven of Coins. What other messages are there for Sagittarius for June? Eight of Swords. So, I mean, again, this tells me right here that you have a lot going on. You have a lot going on in your love life. The Three of Swords, this can represent distance between you and your partner. This can represent a breakup or a divorce. Either it's happened or you feel like you're moving in this direction. It could also just be that you're hurting. And, you know, this ties in with the energy from the Five of Coins. You're hurting. You feel completely in the dark. So it could be, you know, that someone maybe has asked for some space or has asked for a divorce or has told you they want to break up. I see somebody being really heartbroken here. And let me just jump over here. The Eight of Swords. There's an energy here of feeling completely trapped. Like there's no way out of the situation. And it could be that you feel completely trapped because you don't know how to get somebody back, or you don't know how to fix what's wrong in your relationship or in your marriage. I don't know. I feel like some of you have choices. I mean, you have the Seven of Coins here, which does represent that, you know, you really need to think carefully because you could have other choices as far as a relationship, or maybe you need to weigh your options. Like, is this relationship really what you want? It's going to be different for everyone because this is a general reading, but, you know, for those of you Or maybe you're just getting to know someone. Let's just go here first. Maybe you're just getting to know someone and you see all of these red flags because I mean, we already see them in the reading. The Five of Swords and the Seven of Swords. I mean, just those two cards alone tell me that there's something strange going on. Or something strange. Like someone's not being honest about something, but again, I don't want to say that they're not being honest because they're cheating. It could be something else. Maybe they're just not telling you something, or they're not on the same page as you. For those who are just getting to know someone, you may want to think very carefully, because with this energy, this means that you need to be patient with the situation, and you need to very carefully weigh your options, because I see that you're heartbroken here. You're heartbroken, and you feel like there's nothing that you can do about it, but there is. You have a lot of thinking to do. This is about you being, in a much better place with the Nine of Coins. That's why it's there. That's why it's here with this challenging energy around it. That negative energy from the Five of Swords, the need for you to confront these things that are going on in your love life so that you can be here, so you can feel good about where you are, so that you don't feel ashamed or in some way abandoned, mistreated, whatever it is. Like, you need to be in this energy here. So you need to think very carefully, what can I do to make that happen? Because I just feel like you're hurting and there's something weird going on in your love life right now. Let's get a few more cards from the confirmation deck. What other messages are there for Sagittarius for June? Look at that. The Five of Swords just repeated itself because you have it right here from the other deck. What other messages are there for Sagittarius for June? Ten of Pentacles. What other messages are there for Sagittarius? Nine of Swords. What's the most important message that Sagittarius needs to hear for June 2018? The Three of Wands. So this is a repeating card because you have this message here. So this is telling you, again, this is a message that the best is yet to come. Things are going to get better for you if you hang in there. The Three of Wands is telling you that your time will come for happiness. And in fact, I don't think you'll be waiting long, because right away you had the message from the star. You will get the outcome that you want. And I see, a happy ending here. A happy ending to the struggles that, we see in the rest of the reading. So the Five of Swords is also a repeating card because, here it is. You have it right here. So this is a pretty harsh energy. And you have it twice. So this is telling you to be careful. Use caution. And I feel like one of the things that I should mention is be cautious when making decisions. Because this card can mean many things. But one of the things that always usually it stands out to me is that you could make a decision that you will regret. You'll regret. And this could be also that you think you want someone, but then you might look back and wish you had just walked away. And there literally is somebody walking away in the card. Use caution with the Five of Swords. If you feel like there's, a lot of harsh energy around someone, or you're constantly suffering, they're constantly breaking your heart. I mean, there's something for you to see. With the Seven of Swords being the other main energy. There could be deceit, and this is telling you, take off the blinders and see what's really going on in your love life. You also have the Ten of Pentacles. So for some of you, this has to do with a marriage. This card does represent marriage, and it also represents stability. It represents stability, and there's a lot of anxiety around a marriage. You have the Nine of Swords, which is, the nightmare card. You're imagining the worst. Let me just put it here. You're imagining the worst when it comes to a marriage. Now, I feel like, there are decisions that have to be made. It's hard to really kind of pin it down to what kind of outcome or what exactly is going on in a general reading. But I mean, let's just focus on the first three cards that you had. You're getting what you want, the Star card. You're getting what you want, a happy ending, and you're celebrating something. So some of you could be very worried about a marriage, because I see it here. You could be very worried about a marriage or a relationship, a committed relationship that maybe you want to lead to marriage. You're imagining the worst. And, for some of you, this could be creating a lot of harsh energy. The Five of Swords, it's just, sabotage in some way. So think, is it you? Do you constantly feel like your partner is cheating on you when really there is no proof? Or is there proof? Again, it's very, very hard to say in a general reading. But caution. Caution around, a lot of fears that you have. Only you know whether those fears, you know, are without merit. The Nine of Swords usually does mean worry without merit. Or do you have proof that there's something going on? Again, you know, you do have the Five of Swords 2 times and then the Seven of Swords. So I feel like, you know, there is something that you need to see and come to terms with. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the partner reading so that we can see what your partner wants. And we can compare. I'm going to use different decks. And all the decks that I'm going to use are going to be on my website. If you want to know what they are, just go to the updates page at channeledguidance.com. Okay, so I'm going to use this deck here for you. Let's get a few cards. I'm going to focus on what you want. What does Sagittarius want as far as their love life? June 2018. Seven of Cups. What does Sagittarius want as far as their love life for June? The Empress. What does Sagittarius want as far as their love life for June? The King of Wands. What does Sagittarius want as far as their love life for June? King of Swords. This King of Swords has popped up in a lot of readings. I guess air signs are highly desired in June. It keeps coming up for everybody. Okay, let's look at your partner now. What does Sagittarius' partner want as far as their love life for June? The Moon. What does Sagittarius' love partner want for the month of June? What do they want? The Hierophant. What does Sagittarius' love partner want for June? The Four of Cups. What does Sagittarius' love partner want for June? The Knight of Swords. Okay, now I'm going to get a main energy for both of you. Here we go. What's the main energy around Sagittarius and their love life for June? The High Priestess. Actually, that's not the High Priestess. That's the High Priest, which would be the Hierophant. Show me the main energy around Sagittarius' love interest for June. Temperance. Okay, so we have everybody's energy here. Let's focus on you first. So you have the Seven of Cups, the Empress, the King of Wands, and the King of Swords. So interesting that there's 2 people here. But let's go ahead and just start at the top. You have the Seven of Cups. So what do you want? I feel like there's confusion here. Now the interesting thing is if you look at it, I mean, I'm going to go over your partner, you know, your partner's energy and what they want. You both start with really confusing energy. So I feel like that's probably why there is so much conflict, or there was so much conflict in the first spread. I mean, the Five of Swords 2 times and then the Seven of Swords. I feel like there's a lot of confusion around your love life. There's a lot of confusion around your relationship. You both start with very confusing energy, although they have a major arcana, which means that they're probably more confused than you. At least you know what you want, because you do have the Empress. I also feel like, you know, you want clarity. You want the truth. With the Seven of Cups, you're so emotional that you're not thinking clearly. You're not seeing things clearly. And there's choices to be made, and that's something that I kept saying over and over in the first part of the spread. There's choices to make, and you don't know what to do. You don't know what to choose. So that is an energy that is around you. But you also have the Empress, which, you know, this is what I was saying. At least you know what you want, because the Empress is the energy of you want it all. Like, you don't want to settle for, you know, a half-baked relationship. Just something that's just so-so. It's just okay. You don't want that. And I feel, I mean, with the Seven of Cups, I feel like you're confused because you're probably, you know, very much in love with your partner, but you feel, you know, that probably something is off, or something's missing, or there's something they're not telling you based on the first spread. But I do get that you want everything with the Empress, and usually when this card comes up, you can have it all. I feel like you not only want marriage or commitment, you want the feelings to be there, which makes you highly confused, because I feel like you have the Five of Coins, which means that you feel the feelings are not there. Like, they're not giving you everything. They're withholding in some way. You have 2 people here. Let's see if I can get them both in here. Obviously, this is you as a fire sign. And then you have the King of Swords, which is an air sign. Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Male or female, sun, moon, or rising. There's an air sign. So for some of you, you know, it could be that this is your partner, or this is the energy that they are in. Now, one thing that I'm getting, and I don't always get this for this card, I always try to read it as a court card, as far as, you know, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, but I'm noticing that, I mean, like I said, both of you start with really confusing energy. I felt they are more confused than you because they have a major arcana. This is the opposite of being like really emotional and confused. This is someone that is very kind of logical and rational and really kind of very much, you know, like sees things clearly, uses intellect, not emotion. Because usually, you know, like the energy of the King of Cups or the Queen of Cups, you get lost in all this emotion to where you don't really come up with answers. I feel like what you want your partner in this energy for some of you, but if they are not an air sign, you want them to think logically, rationally. You want answers. You want to figure things out. You want them to use their head. Because I did feel, remember, the Five of Swords 2 times. You may feel like your partner is making all the wrong decisions. They're sabotaging your relationship or your marriage. And I feel like you want them to be in this energy of the King of Swords. You want them to use their head. You want them to see things the way that you see them. You want them to think very rationally about, you know, what's going on in your love life. Now, your main energy is a Hierophant. So this means that you really know where you belong. And like I said, you really know what you want with the Empress there. The Hierophant is this energy of kindred spirits, soulmates, but also just, you know, knowing where you belong. And so I feel like you know what you want already. You just need your partner on the same page. I'm just noticing right now that your partner also has a Hierophant. Here it's called the High Priest, but I mean, it's the same card. They have the Hierophant here. Now your partner has the Moon, the Hierophant, the Four of Cups, and the Knight of Swords. So let's start at the top. So the Moon, again, you know, this is what I was telling you. There's highly confusing energy between you and your partner. And you both start with that same energy, which tells me that you are on the same page, but it may not necessarily be a good thing because that means that you are both highly confused. Although I think they are more confused than you. But with the Moon, also I want to go back and say, because you did have the Seven of Swords as a main energy in the main spread, which does represent deceit. There could be something that maybe your partner is not sharing, or it could be that, you know, they want to reveal something to you, because the Moon is an energy of things that are hidden suddenly coming to light. And it could be that they're being guided to do that. You know, if they're not happy, and you know, I see that here, something is making your partner unhappy with the Four of Cups. This is an energy of feeling unfulfilled, even bored. You don't care anymore. But again, don't let that disappoint you because they're very confused. They're not seeing things clearly. Or there could be something that they're not telling you. With the Hierophant here, this is telling you that, you know, there's like a spiritual push around them for them to maybe tell you what it is they're holding back from you. Why are they unhappy? Why are they unfulfilled? What is it that they want? What is it that they need? They want something to change because they have the Knight of Swords. They want something to change, and they want changes to happen quickly in your relationship or in your marriage. The Knight of Swords, this is, you know, kind of unpredictable energy. They may be, I mean, again, next to this card, they could be bored with the way things are. They may be craving change. But again, you have the same energy here. So I feel like you're very much, you have your differences, but I feel like you're pretty much on the same page. Confusion, the Hierophant. Like you're both highly confused, but I feel like eventually both of you will understand what's going on between you. That's probably why you started off with really positive cards in the main spread. I forgot what it was. I think it was the Star and the Ten of Cups and the Three of Cups. You start off with like this beautiful energy in the first part of the spread, and then it's slightly start to go downhill. But again, with the Hierophant coming up for both of you, this means that eventually you will figure things out. You will figure out where you belong. They have this energy here of the Temperance telling, you know, this is an energy of balance. So I feel like, you know, your partner they may not be saying too much right now. They probably don't want to rock the boat. That's the energy of Temperance. This is just kind of keep the waters calm until you figure things out. I feel like your partner has a lot to figure out. They're confused. And yes, I do see the energy of unhappiness, but I feel like, you know, they may soon be sharing this with you. There is guidance around them to show them where they belong. And I feel like, again, they want change. That's the energy of the Knight of Swords. Okay, Sagittarius, this has been your love reading for June 2018. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will speak to you again next month.